AITA for telling my BIL to leave after he found out my mum cuts vegetables for me. I, 30M, was born with a bone missing in my arm, a result I only have one digit. If that wasn't enough, it was in a fixed position with my digit up by my shoulder and the ligament and tendons didn't really develop, so I can't straighten my arm. My parents were great at making sure I would be independent and able to live by myself. Some things I physically can't do, like tie shoelaces. For the most part one can cut anything by myself, but I struggle with doing fine dices. Every other month or so, my mum will finally cut some veggies for me, usually onion, celery and carrots, so that I can freeze them. I asked her to do this when I lived on my own for the first time because I was fed up of sending onions flying all over my kitchen if I used a knife or it turning to mush if I used the food processor. When my girlfriend, 28F, started dating, she told me that she couldn't cook but also didn't have an interest in learning to cook. I said this was fine because I like to cook, so when she moved in I became the de facto cook. She has never expressed a problem with my mum cutting vegetables for me. She actually preferred it as she has said she couldn't cut them finely for me. Her brother, 35M, is currently staying with us and has been for the last 4 weeks since his ex threw him out because of how lazy he is. He doesn't have a job. I don't think he has for the 3 years I've been with GF. Nor is he looking for one. He also doesn't help around the house. We were his last resort because no one else would take him in, not even their parents. My mum came over yesterday with the freezer bags of diced veggies for me. Bill was annoyed when he saw my mum with the veggies because that morning GF and I had spoken to him about not being so lazy and get a job because he's an adult and needs to stop relying on people like a child, GF's words not mine. He was annoyed because he saw me as being a hypocrite because I was getting my mum to cut things for me, like a child. After my mum left he accused her of mollycoddling me and treating me like I'm incompetent. For me this was a crossed line because this is something I physically can't do and my mum is just being helpful. I told Bill that I wanted him to leave and that he was no longer welcome in my home. GF moved in with me to my house. GF was upset that I asked her brother to leave as I made a decision without her input and left with him. Since Bill and GF left, I have texts off him and their family accusing me of being a mummy's boy, telling me I need to cut the apron strings and cut my own vegetables like an adult. GF hasn't answered my texts. AITA for telling my Bill to leave. Edit. I do use frozen veggies. They're great for a lot of applications, but definitely not for fresh eating. I get some of the harder veggies like butternut squash already cut up and frozen. Though frozen onions I seem to only be able to get sliced. My local supermarket does have prepared veg in the fruit and veg department, but it honestly doesn't look great. The onion in particular is always slimy looking. I do actually need to get a new veg chopper like the slap chop or the box ones that people have suggested. My niece, 3, broke my last one trying to help me cook. My sister offered to replace it but I told her it was an accident and she didn't need to do that. I've seen links to a couple that look better than the one I had where I might be able to cut as finely as I want, so I'm gonna order one and give it a try. Update. So, GF, well, ex-GF, came around this afternoon to collect her belongings. It was very anticlimactic but I'm not upset that she's gone because she's shown me her true colors. Though she had blamed me for it all and not apologized for her or her brother's actions. She had written a post on her FB on Saturday night basically bad-mouthing me, calling me all sorts of names and said that I was a mummy's boy and refused to cut the apron strings. I didn't see it. I don't have FB but my sister, 28F, did and she screenshot it and sent it to me. The comment section was a dumpster fire because her friends were saying things like, "Of course he needs help, he has one arm," and telling her that she should be helping me. She has since deleted the post. After my sister saw the post, she called our uncle to let him know what had happened and suggested that he came around and changed my locks for me because she doesn't trust ex-GF and wanted to make sure I was safe. As XGF left, my uncle arrived to change the locks, which angered her. She got upset and asked if we didn't trust her. I hesitated, and my uncle smirked and said no. After XGF left, my uncle teased me about it taking so long to realize she wasn't a nice person. None of them liked her but didn't say anything because they could see I was happy. Apparently she and my sister loathed each other as my sister was angry about the way she was treating me. I was just too enamored to see it. My sister has also sent me the number of one of her friends, Jane, 29F, and told me that Jane is waiting for me to text her for a date when I'm ready and that this is the last time she's giving me the number of a friend. I've known Jane for years through my sister. She's lovely, and I do like her. We get on incredibly well, but Jane was in a long-term relationship before I got with my ex. Jane works as a chef in a local hotel and has previously offered to help me with chopping because she's a good egg. So there's that. TDLR. Broke up with GF. Locks have changed, and I've got the number of a woman who is a decent human being. And now, for the next story. AITA for warning my brother about a birthday surprise. I'll keep this brief. My little brother just turned 30 last week. Something I did has caused a bit of a problem. Me and my brother Nate both live in a smallish town and we kinda have overlapping friend groups. One friend that we share is named Tyler. Tyler is your typical bachelor lifestyle kind of guy while I enjoy my family life and Nate enjoys his solitude and routine. About a month ago Tyler told me he wanted to take Nate to a strip club in the city for his birthday. I know my brother very well and Nate has made it clear on multiple occasions that he does like the idea of strip clubs. I told Tyler as much and he responded with, he would like it once he is there. Tyler then tells me that his plan was to get Nate to agree to go somewhere else and just take him to the city instead, like a pseudo-kidnapping. I told Tyler it was a bad idea that would just piss off Nate. Tyler didn't care and thought it would be fun. Not long after Tyler told me his plan, I relayed all the info to Nate as a warning of Tyler's shenanigans. Nate thanked me for the warning. The day of Nate's birthday I got multiple texts from Tyler asking if I knew where Nate was because no one could find him or get him on the phone. I genuinely didn't know where he was because we weren't doing anything for his birthday until the following weekend. I found out yesterday that Nate ducked everybody on his birthday by going out of town to his girlfriend's parents' house for the day. Nate's girlfriend let Tyler know that I warned Nate and now Tyler is pissed at me because he had booked a private room and a specialty service at the club and isn't getting his money back. A bunch of mutual friends believed what I did was a D move, but there are several others saying I did the right thing by Nate as he would have had a horrible time. AITA. Edit. Just because I've seen a few comments already. Nate just started dating this girl around 4 months ago and I've met her 3 times. I don't know her well enough to comment on her actions or intentions. She seems chill though, and it could be she wasn't made aware of the entire situation when Tyler asked her for info. Update. After posting this yesterday and seeing some of the initial responses, I did feel a lot less guilty. I also felt like maybe I was missing too many details myself, so I decided to go talk to Tyler in person. I want to start this off by saying I don't think Tyler is a bad person. He is just the town party guy. He could honestly have a great career as an event planner if he wanted. After talking with Tyler last night, I can safely say that the vast majority of what is going on is all due to miscommunications from everybody. Let's start with the party itself. The main reason a lot of our mutual friends were mad is because they thought either Tyler told me all the financial details and I still ruined it, or they thought I just wanted to ruin the surprise. The private room he booked basically meant they got their own private stage and dancer for 2 hours. The specialty service was actually a funny birthday-themed event involving a cake and a birthday crown. As for Tyler, I don't believe there was any selfish motivation involved in his thought process. I swear Nate has some minor undiagnosed form of autism and might be the first guy Tyler has met that doesn't like strip clubs. Our town has less than 50 businesses total and 3 of them are strip clubs for a reason. Tyler also told me he had no idea Nate was seeing anyone, which I honestly believe because Nate is not the most outspoken of us and tends to just be a wallflower during most of our gatherings. I know Tyler comes across as a douche on paper, but he has good intentions. Lastly, for Nate's girlfriend, I'm going to call her Abby for simplicity's sake. Abby was the most misinformed out of anyone here. At her parents' house she saw Nate's phone blowing up and Nate only said that there was a party Tyler wanted him to go to but he wasn't interested. When Abby asked him why he wasn't interested, Nate mentioned that I told him about it earlier in the week, which is why he made the plans to be here instead. Once they came back to town the next morning, they ran into Tyler at my dad's diner and that's when she mentioned my name. We have all talked and everyone is on the same page now. No one is mad at each other and the dust has settled. I do thank everyone for reading and commenting. The support I got from the comment section helped me get through the day. Hopefully this is the only update I need to post. Our parents and I worked during the week and couldn't do anything substantial on the actual birthday, so Saturday we did a rage room, got him a tattoo, and then took him to his favorite restaurant. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe below.